for Hackman.
And reasonable second vault, perhaps not so good on the landing. No major errors, so she should score roughly in the same area.
Here's Lisa Skinner for Australia on the uneven bars.
And Skinner is very good on this apparatus. Let's hope she can put it together when it counts. Cast fall. Beautiful eagle grip. Half turn out. Yes, nice ginger. Counter swing to handstand. Very little for deduction here. Superb body lines. Giant fall. Oh,
yes.
Beautiful routine.
Lisa Skinner from Brisbane. She'll be happy with that. Beautiful eyes Lisa has. In fact, she must have been an optometrist. Did you know that?
Well, if she can make anyone else's eyes look like hers, they'll be flocking at her at the door. There's that nice ginger. And characterising this beautiful bar routine, clean lines, sticks the dismount. And this could be one of those apparatus where Australia makes ground.
Now here's the score for Kelly Hackman, an 8.937. And Lisa Skinner with a 9.587. What a great start for Lisa. Annika Reeder for England.
Reeder strong on vault. And she's chosen the Sukahara entry. That's a half turn onto the horse, half turn off, lay out front. Very difficult combination. Half turn on, half turn off, lay out front. So good vaulting here. Half turn. Little bit of steps on the landing. And opens out before she hits the ground nicely. .3 for that first vault. So far, that's the highest score posted on vaulting tonight.
Ready for her second. Previous competitor for England, Lisa Mason, 9.137. They're doing well.
Yes, very nice.
For Annika Reeder, 9.331.
Wolf jump 3/4, a bit cautious. Can't afford to be tentative on balance beam. One of those apparatus that you have to dictate, not the other way round. Flick, lay out. Ooh, just makes it through. It's probably her most difficult apparatus to compete. She's not naturally suited for this apparatus. Straddle jump, full turn. So Canada. Here we are, the mount. Interesting angle here. You can see how difficult it is to keep the balance. Just a little bit short on the rotation here. Dismount, double pike. That mat snaps up. This is Trudy McIntosh. She's had a lot of trouble with this release element coming up in the first half of the routine. Let's see if she can make it. And she's on the bar. Oh, she's slipped off.
Well, that's rotten luck for Trudy.
Well, she was right there, but she has missed a lot in training lately, so perhaps she's just not accustomed to catching. Nice pack salto down to the low bar. She has to swing, get this dismount going. Takes it up nicely. Okay, so she's made amends in the second half of the routine.
It was a good finish. One disappointment coming off there.
Yeah, she's right on top of the bar, but she just doesn't grasp it strongly enough. And not entirely unexpected, but she has been put in on uneven bars because she's an excellent all-round worker. She's got a chance for the all-around competition if she can qualify, and if you left her off uneven bars, that would count her out, and she is considered a chance for the all-around title.
The bar actually hit her on the wrist and she just wasn't able to grab it, but it was a good finish.
Yep.
So perhaps she hasn't scored all that badly. 8.637 the score for Trudy. So a mixed bag for Australia on the uneven bars. Alana Slater's 7.462 will be disregarded, but it's certainly England.
Is proudly presented by Telstra.
Peggy Liddick's never had much time for politics, so when she took on the job of National Women's Gymnastics coach, she ignored the different factions and concentrated on the talent.
The whole idea of doing half routines is to up the quality.
The coach who's loath to show favouritism has a soft spot for a redhead from Perth.
She's her own worst enemy. I mean, she's harder on herself than the coaches are at any time. Underneath that calm exterior and the cute face and everything, you never know that there was a tiger under there. But she likes to win, so don't let that fool you.
Gymnastics is a sport that Alana Slater really only came by because doctors felt it might be good for her health. In her early days, she had problems pulling off one of the most basic manoeuvres, breathing.
When I was little, I had sudden infant death syndrome, and after I recovered over that, well, I was lucky to recover over that, but after I did, my mum was worried about my balance and my stability, so she went to the doctor to ask what she could do to test it out, and he said kindy gym, and then just progressed from there. I just loved it, and they saw a talent in me, so I just kept going from there.
In September, while she was competing in a junior event in America's Colorado Springs, her father Clive was the only Australian on an airline that crashed in Indonesia.
And they weren't for certain, but once it was through that everybody on the plane was killed and that my dad was on there, that's when we knew he had died. It was just so unrealistic, and it still doesn't feel real. Still expect him to walk through the door and give us a cuddle and everything.
But while her coaches, Peggy Liddick, Nikolai Lapchin and Joe Richards, believed they could help get their gymnasts back on track, no one was expecting Alana to get there so fast. At the Australia-Japan Fox Sport Challenge last month, she took on all comers and won.